Okay, so video for the new Dunu Falcon Ultra. If you're interested in winning this set, go ahead and comment below this video. You got to be a subscriber. Give it a thumbs up if you genuinely like the video. That would always help with the algorithm. And good luck to you. I think it's a well-tuned set. It's absolutely stunning, and it's very, very beautiful. Let me go ahead and put up the border, and you can see that I'm kind of comparing it to the Pro, which looks like it, but it's silver and it's got a different venting system on the front side, and maybe a little bit more than that. 7, 6, 6, and 7 are the scores that I would give it. I think that it's great with, I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go ahead and talk about the frequency graph real quick because it tells a story. This is Super Reviews. The Pro is in green, the previous version, and the new one, the Ultra, is in red. You'll notice that the bass and the mids are very, very different. I was not a fan of the green line, not at all, really, and I was very specific with why, and I'll restate that now because it's related to why I do like the Falcon Ultra. The bass is rolling off at about 80 hertz. For 80 hertz, it's starting to decrease and fall off, almost like a headphone. It's peaking at 100 hertz, and then it travels all the way to the ear gain. It's forward mids and bass, really. It's not the mids aren't very clean on it, and what does that impact? On a person like mine's library, bass guitars kind of bloom out a little bit, 4 and 5 string bass guitars. Drum kits have more energy than I'd like, and both of those instruments and instruments like those will get in the way of vocals, it's in a critical fundamental range right there, where they start to, depending on the configuration of drivers or quality of, become really not an ideal replay. The Dunu had a great driver, but it was clear that the bass and the drums were ever present even when they didn't seem like they actually should be. And then the ear gain was a little bit tamed. Combine those and it was a very warm replay. So I was not really a fan of that, just to remind and be specific. This set is very much like, in the bass and the mid bass, like a Melee, which is no longer available. But for example, it's like that, but this is with a much superior driver, so you get a cleaner replay. But the emphasis that this puts on a bass guitar, I'm talking about let's go ahead and get the Pro out of here real quick, because I just wanted to explain why I didn't like. That took way too long, didn't it? Sorry about that. Bam. Wanted to talk about why I didn't like the other one, why I do like this one, and that's my old target. Oh, it's my new target right there. I like this, and this matches my library. It does have its good points and bad points, obviously. I think this is great with stuff like Metallica, crunching guitars, distortion pedals, a lot of BPM, a lot of kick drums going on right here. Totally fine for that. So stuff like Metallica, I think it does well. It's good with, it's got enough energy to get this triple drop for Big Boy Killjill. It does that well. It also does other parts of my library that are similar to Big Boy Killjill, like Ghetto Boys, Jay-Z, Tupac, Scarface, Wu-Tang, stuff like that. This will do that fine. Trip hop, kind of EDM, stuff like Radiohead, Pack Like Sardines and Crushed in Box. It's got plenty of energy for that. It's okay with, as we move to stuff like Madonna, with female vocals, again, like tuning like the Melee or anything tuned like that. It's going to come down to the quality of the driver, but just acoustics and sound science. When you lift up the mid bass this much, you're going to kind of husk up female vocals a little bit, and it's going to, for people that are sensitive to that, you already know when you look at graphs that something might be a little too warm for you. So I think that female vocals on this, I think they sound pretty good, but I know based on previous recs and a lot of stuff that I see online, a lot of people prefer a cleaner mids for female vocals, and I can get why. This might not be the strength of this set. Vivaldi, I'm actually listening to Vivaldi right now. It's got a warmish tint. It's okay. I like it. I like the energetic replay, but people that are really sensitive, classical music, female vocals, this might not be the first thing that you would maybe go and grab. It's got a price of $239. It's got a config of a single dynamic driver, an efficiency of 108, and impedance of 16 ohm. I think it's a great set. My collab's over there that I'm going to start shipping out to other people pretty soon. Besides the tri-birds, I really don't mess around with anything that's BA. They're all dynamic drivers or dual dynamic drivers, planar, a couple different stuff, but I really don't get into balanced armatures. I'm a big dynamic driver fan. Dunu's got probably one of the better drivers in the business, and drivers are it's like the GPU in your graphics card. It's everything. I keep banging away at this because if you've got a great set, you think it's a great set, and it's got a garbage driver, which is hard to tell until people start to come out and say, man, I'm really listening to this thing and A-Bing it, and there's something, it's grainy, it's etc. You can catch the quality of drivers. You don't have to have a golden ear. It sounds slightly off. The graph doesn't reflect what you're listening to, because what you're hearing sounds different from another ideal set that's pretty close to what you're listening to. So graphs are a great tool, but they don't tell the whole story. This has a tuning that's not very different from the Melee. It's got a little bit more extension, yet it sounds much better than that set. It's got a better driver. And this is a good example of somebody might look at that and say, that looks a lot like a Melee, or similar to that. That comes to my mind because I actually did take a look. They don't sound anything alike because of the quality of the driver. The quality of the driver is very important. Dunu uses good drivers. If you are in the market and this kind of money is not a problem for you, and that looks like the tuning that matches you, then this would be something that you should probably take a chance on. It looks stunning. It sounds really good. It's got its good and weak points like all sets do. And I guess I'll leave it at that. I'm just happy that they kind of redid the Pro and improved it. The feedback on the original was that the bass was kind of, it was always there. It wasn't a sub-bass slammer. It wasn't a beast in any kind of a way, but it had clear Achilles heel, z, and they seem to address that, which is the whole point of doing follow-ups, like brother, sister, stuff that are very similar to previous releases, should be reflecting feedback from customers, and that's exactly what Dunu did. So if you thought that the Pro was not your thing and it had a lot to do with the mid-bass and the sub-bass and the way that was skewed with the 80 hertz and below rolling off and 100 hertz being the peak and that just going all the way to the gain, if that was the reason you weren't a fan of that, but you thought it was a technically good set, there you go. They listened to you. Dunu Falcon Ultra. And did I say it's absolutely stunning? What a gorgeous set. And I'm out.